like seemingly, I was like, he had like a David Dobrik era mid porn where all of a sudden he's direct to camera flexing and shaming the audience, being like, this is what you got to do to be a real man. You got to get your protein by eating pussy. If you don't do this, you're a fucking loser. And I was like, this is crazy. This is so fucking crazy.
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. We're going to a summer party tonight, and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly summer party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drossbeck, who is really feeling the slumber party vibes right now. No makeup on, lad's sweatshirt adorned, pimple patches upon my face, and I'm ready to get into it. I just got back from 2 weeks up in Maine. First week, some of my friends came up to visit, and then the second week, my family was there. My sister was in town visiting. So it was a nice little reset. I love Maine. I love coastal Maine, and just getting to spend time by the water, on the water, looking at the water, in the water. I need to be just like in, on, by a body of water at all times, and I am feeling satisfied. And the coldness of Maine water really doesn't bother me. I kind of love the shock of the ice cold water. It feels really good to me, which shouldn't come as a surprise since I'm notoriously someone that prefers to be cold, and the second I start feeling hot, I start feeling sick. I don't understand what the appeal of being hot is to people. Like, I was in an Uber the other day, windows up, fully closed, no AC running. It is fucking 85 degrees in New York City. What are we doing? Sincerely, what are we doing? And then I tried to roll down my window, but the windows were fucking child locked, and I cannot ask an Uber driver to unchild lock my window. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm too embarrassed to do that. So I was just like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna get a headache because it's so hot in here. And also, it's the bubblegum air fresheners that some people put in their cars. It's specifically that like bubblegum ass scent. It gives me an immediate headache. I was Googling it the last time I was in this car. And the fact that it was the bubblegum air freshener and they were going to roll up all the windows and keep me locked in there. Oh my God. Yeah, it was an instant headache. But then I looked it up. And I guess there's certain scents that can trigger migraines for people. And I am someone that does get migraines. So I'm like, maybe this bubblegum scent is just like a trigger of mine. But I was hoping that I would Google it and I would find a ton of people that were feeling the same way as me. I did not find that. But if you also get headaches from the bubblegum scented car fresheners, or I don't even know if it's bubblegum scented, but that's what it smells like to me, is like bubblegum, birthday cake, grossness. And a lot of drivers have them. Why? I'm like, if you're going to put a car freshener in that doesn't bother me, I light candles in my apartment 24/7. It's not scent. It is specifically that scent that does it for me. It's so gross. It's so disgusting. And to be in a car with the windows rolled up, I'm like, how do you not have a headache? How do you not feel like you're going to pass away? When I am overheated, I feel like it takes me like 48 hours to fully feel normal and feel like myself again. When I get overheated, it's like, okay, now I need to get myself into a room with AC in it, right? And then maybe after like 2 hours of being in the room with AC, I'll be like externally calmed down, cooled. But then internally, I feel like it takes me like 24 to 48 hours to fully recoup after being overheated. Does anyone else feel this way? I literally feel like being hot makes me feel like I'm on the verge of death. Like, I just am not supposed to be hot. I know I'm not supposed to. I could survive out in the snow, though. I saw Society of the Snow, okay? I feel that I could have survived. I feel that I could have been among the few that made it long. And I believe this, one, because I'm good in the cold, and two, because I'm already bundled up, you know? So I feel like, if anything, I could have crushed in that scenario. Not that I want to test that out. Just pointing it out. Pointing it out as one of my strong suits, if it were to ever come up for me. When we were up in Maine, we were out at dinner the first night, and we were right on the beach, right on the main road. and a Cybertruck drove by. And I haven't seen a Cybertruck in person yet. Some of my friends had already seen them driving around in New York, but I've never witnessed with my own two eyes a Cybertruck. And so we were sitting eating and my friends were like, point and boo. We didn't really do that. But, we're like quietly pointing and booing and joking to ourselves. We're not making a scene. Come on, guys. We're just having a little joke, if that's okay with you. So we're waiting for this Cybertruck to come drive right past us. And when it does, we realize a fucking 80-year-old woman is driving it. I lost my mind laughing. And then it was like, oh, that's so funny. This 80-year-old woman driving what must be like her grandson's Cybertruck. She has to go run an errand this one time. And like her grandson bought this stupid fucking car. But then I proceeded to see this Cybertruck several more times over the 2 weeks that I was up in Maine. And it was always the same 80-year-old woman driving the car. I was like, that's crazy. What business does an 80-year-old woman have driving a Cybertruck? How does she even know what a Cybertruck is? Which one of you brain rotted the 80-year-old into getting a Cybertruck? That's crazy. But I've thought about it more often. And I'm like, I kind of love it. I kind of feel that the only people that are allowed to drive Cybertrucks are 80-year-old women. Like, there's something kind of sick about it. Like, I would never say that about anything that has to do with Elon Musk, but you put an 80-year-old grandma in the driver's seat of a Cybertruck, I'm like, she can convince me. She can convince me that's cool, and none of the rest of you bitches can, okay? I don't know. I was on one when I was up in Maine. I feel like I'm still riding a high, honestly, from winning in mini golf. Yep, that's right. Just me winning twice in mini golf this summer. I don't feel bad flexing the fact that I am a fucking beast at mini golf. I win every year. I'm a fucking freak on the mini green. Okay? And I wish someone would let me get on the big golf course, okay? Someone take me to big golf and I'll fuck it up. Y'all are scared. Y'all are too fucking scared to find out that you might be friends with fucking Happy Gilmore, okay? That I might have a secret talent. That I maybe should have been playing big golf all along. That maybe this is another thing that I'm really fucking good at. But I won mini golf again. There were 6 of us that played the first time. And I was 1 stroke under par, I believe. Yeah. Yep, that's right. Under par. It was like, I believe the par was 40 and I had 39. This is an 18-hole golf course. Most of the pars were 2, sometimes 3. Okay? I fucking crushed. I'm so good at mini golf. And I won. 39 was my score. Beat all of my friends. And I beat the women's high score of the day. Huge moves were made, and I was feeling extra good about all of it. So then the next week I was like with my sister and my brother and my sister's friend, and I was like, we should go to mini golf again because I won a free game of mini golf from beating the women's high score. So I was like, I'm going to go take advantage of my free game. So I go and I play my free game of mini golf, and then I beat all those idiots too. I'm a beast. I'm a fucking beast when it comes to the mini hole. You guys don't know what to do with me. Like, you're actually so perplexed. You're like, what? She's so good at mini golf? Like, you're losing your fucking minds. Because you're like, there's no way this one's good at mini golf. And it's read it and weep, people. Because I'm fucking so good at mini golf. And then in Maine, there's a psychic. Or she's not a psychic. She's a palm reader. She might say she's a psychic. Pauline, I'm on to you. I love this kind of shit, okay, right? I love palm readings. I love tarot. I love psychics. I love astrology. I buy into it. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. Super interested, okay? So understand that this is coming from the mouth of someone that totally buys in. Fully bought in. Pauline is a fucking fraudster. Pauline, I've got beef with her, okay? Because I've gone to Pauline several summers in a row. And last summer, I made note of what she said. Because last summer, there was like a group of us that went in. And then a few days later, somebody else wanted to go to Pauline. And the second day we were in there, Pauline clearly didn't remember us. But I witnessed Pauline give one of my friends that wasn't there day one pretty much the same exact reading as somebody else got the other day that we were there. So understand this is coming from the mouth of someone that buys into all of it, loves it even, okay? Pauline is the biggest fucking fraudster. She has had a shop in the downtown area in this town in Maine for years, since my mom was a teenager. And my mom used to joke around and go get palm readings from her when she was a teenager. And my mom told me that she always felt like Pauline would like sit outside her shop and just sort of observe people and observe the kids that were downtown. My mom worked at the amusement park, like literally like 2 doors down. The amusement park is right next to it. And my mom always said that she thought that Pauline just observed what she was doing, so that when she would go and get her palm reading or whatever, Pauline would just like whip out references to people she saw my mom hanging out with, like, oh, the boy with the brown hair who often wears a blue backpack, I don't know, something, whatever. My mom was like, listen, Pauline's been around for ages, and she's definitely got a science to what she does. What that science is, we're still trying to crack that code, okay? But I've gotten closer to figuring it out. Last summer, we went to Pauline on 2 separate occasions. The second time we went to Pauline last summer, my friend went in there and basically got an identical reading to the palm reading my friend had 4 days earlier. So I felt like, okay, Pauline, we got you. We just caught your ass, because she was giving them verbatim, word for word, the same fucking reading. So that should be it, right? The jig was up. Would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids, whatever. I think this whole shtick is so funny, though. The fact that she's had her shop set up in this little town area for years, and she just rattles off the same shit to everyone. That is so funny to me. So I was really excited to go back to Maine so that we could go see Pauline again, fucking obviously. And I went on her Yelp and I just sent it into the group chat with my friends, because some of them didn't come to Maine last summer, so they know nothing about Pauline. And I was like, just wait till y'all come meet Pauline, okay? And so I send the Yelp in the group chat, and my friend Philip found this review of someone that was like, do not come here. Pauline is a scammer. Without looking at any of my Egyptian cards, she told me that my love life was cursed from a generational feud, and it would cost me $100 for her to lift it. That's so beautiful. Pauline is a prolific grifter, okay? She's making shit up. So, obviously, we had to go again. We had to fucking go. And we went there. And I witnessed Pauline give the same goddamn reading for the second year, 3rd time in a row. What she does is, if she thinks that you look young, she'll be like, I sense you're going back to school in the fall. Which obviously isn't true for me or any of my friends, because we're in our 20s, but we're past college age. So every time she said that to any of us, we've all been like, no, but like, we're constantly learning in the game of life, so who knows, Pauline? But like, she thinks you look young, so she's like, oh, could you possibly be going back to school? And then last summer she said to me, she was like, I sense you'll be by the water a lot this summer. I was like, oh, really? Will I? Like, this is all taking place a mere 100 feet from the beach, okay? Like, this is a beach town. We're in fucking Maine. She's like, I said you'll be by the ocean. And then what else did she say? She was like, she uses this line about traveling. She'll be like, I sense that you will travel sometimes in the future. Not too much, never for work, always for pleasure. And she always says it with that exact cadence. That exact phrasing and that exact cadence. I've never heard her tell a single person that they wouldn't have a long life. Maybe that's just, I don't know. That's just like her own set of morals, is that she won't reveal. She'll just lie to you and tell you that you're going to have a long life, even if you won't. I don't know. Maybe she can't see that far, but she knows that people want to know that. I can't imagine, like, how would that conversation go down if she was like, not going to live a long life? And before we walked in this year, there was probably like a 60-year-old man in there getting his palm read, and he had like big calloused hands. He definitely was like does some type of job where you use your hands, and you can tell by looking at him. And she tells him that he was never gonna retire. I sense you'll work forever. Retirement, not really for you. And we were standing outside, and when he comes out, he was like, good luck in there, you guys. I'm like, no retirement for you, huh? He was like, guess not. Like, Pauline she really is just making observations about what you look like and then rattling off bullshit to you. That is what she is doing. And then last summer, one of my friends did ask her a specific question, and she was basically like, cannot answer specific questions. But the question was like, do you have anything to tell me about my love life? It wasn't like a specific ass question. It was like, is there any information you could tell me about like love and relationships? She was like, too much, too specific, cannot answer that. Prolific, really. She's quite something. She's very famous for a reason. And I mean, I'd be a liar if I said I wouldn't go back to her next summer. She's like a staple of the town to me. I know that she's bullshitting me, but it's just so fun to play along. Like, she really is just an actor at the end of the day. This is performance art. I'm paying for the performance. I'm not paying because I believe in her. Because I don't, for the record, if that wasn't obvious. I do not believe in Pauline. So anyways, back in New York for my 2 weeks up in Maine. And I would say I'm settling back in, but really I'm not, because I leave again in 2 days to go to Chicago to take part in a bunch of the external programming that's happening as part of the Democratic National Convention, which I'm so excited about. Really honored to even be invited to go to these events and take part in all of it. My schedule for next week is like packed with events and panels and discussions, and I'm just like excited to go and listen in and observe and engage meaningfully, both with other creators, but also just in general. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting conversation about how to engage meaningfully with political content when you have a platform, and also just during an election cycle. I mean, first of all, I was so honored to be invited, to be thought of in this way, that I don't know, it's just a nice reminder that it's like, oh, my voice, my platform is meaningful and important. And like, clearly I'm being invited to go to Chicago and attend these events because other people can see that. And that's really cool. I feel like the Democratic Party has just had like a resurgence of optimism now with Kamala's campaign sort of going into full force and Tim Walz being named her VP. I mean, I'm feeling more excited about it. I've definitely felt myself getting more optimistic. And listen, my optimism doesn't come without many, many, many criticisms, as it always should be when we're talking about politicians. But yeah, I'm just excited to be there and to engage with other creators and other people in the content production space, and to learn a little bit. It's going to be a really cool week. And like, how cool to be invited to something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be vlogging, and I'll record a podcast there next week because that is where I will be. So if there's any specific type of content you guys want to see from me while I am in Chicago, while I'm at the DNC, let me know. Guys, I watched a literally insane porn the other day. I haven't stopped thinking about it, and I can't tell if it's good or bad. This is the first time I've ever looked at the comment section of a porn video before. Have you ever watched a porn video and thought to yourself, what are those comments saying? Like, literally fucking never. This is the first time that mid-watching, mid-masturbation, I was like, okay, pause fucking game. What is going on here? So most of the time when I am looking up porn to watch to accompany me, having some me time, people, I want to watch someone eating pussy. That's what I want to watch. That's what I enjoy. That is what I'm looking for, usually. boil it down to that. Obviously, I've got all these fantasies and whatever else. Yada, yada, yada. You guys know everything about me at this point. But this is the center point of what I want. We can do this in a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different role plays, whatever. I want to be watching oral sex, specifically oral done to a woman. So I was watching this video of this man absolutely go to town. He was going to fucking town. And I was like, he looks like he's quite talented at what he's doing. I respect. Listen, this man's been studying up. He clearly gives a shit about the art of what he's doing. Real recognize real, okay? So I was enjoying what I was watching. But then, like halfway through the video, which is really an inopportune time to switch it up like this because I've already committed to watching this. Halfway through, he like turns and looks at the camera, eye contact directly in the lens, and is like flexing to the camera. And it's like seemingly, I was like, he had like a David Dobrik era mid porn where all of a sudden he's direct to camera flexing and shaming the audience, being like, this is what you got to do to be a real man. You got to get your protein by eating pussy. If you don't do this, you're a fucking loser. And I was like, this is crazy. This is so fucking crazy. Which is like, this is totally not my vibe, right? Like I'm more of like a sensual, romantic, like gripping the sheets. It's really emotional and charged and passionate. So he had me in the first half. He fucking had me in the first half because I loved his passion. But then he switched into like this bro behavior. Gotta get your protein by eating pussy. I was like, what? I was laughing so hard. So then I look at these fucking comments because I'm like, is nobody talking about this? Thank God all the comments were calling him out, being like, what on earth is this? But then to my surprise, some of the comments were like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's never eaten pussy a day in his life. And I was sort of like, okay, guys, let's not go too far in the opposite direction because I feel like this looks pretty good. In my humble opinion, listen, the guy knows what he's doing. I'll give him that. But what the fuck happened halfway through? He got content brained. She's laying there. Oh my God. What was it like for her? She's just sitting there waiting while he turns and looks at the camera and shames everyone watching and flexes. Oh my God. I was like, enough of this. Do not give a shit. Zoom in on the mouth. I was like, this is crazy. Oh my God. And he looked like fucking Timothy Chalamet too. Like he wasn't even like... It's like a twink flexing at the camera being like, and what the fuck do you guys know about being a real man? I lost my mind. I lost my fucking mind. And the title of the video is like how to make a woman fall in love with you or something, which is why I clicked on it. God damn. I might watch it again, to be honest with you though. Like it's ridiculous, but it has stuck with me in a way that most of the time other porn does not stick with me. That was insane. That's fucking crazy. Additionally, I don't know if anyone else feels this way. I get that they're bots. I understand that the sugar daddy DMs and comments that everybody gets, they're bots. I get it, okay? I am mad at these bots. They offend me. These bots offend me. Every time I see one of these bots in my DMs being like, I'm a sugar daddy and I'd really love to pay you $400 a week. I get that it's just a bot that sees that I am like a woman. I know that. But in my head, I'm like, why the fuck does this bot think that I need $400 from this crusty man? Why does this bot think that I don't have enough of a grasp on my financial health? Okay, I don't need your fucking money. I don't need a sugar daddy. I don't need a man to pay for my shit. Take your money, take your bot money out of my fucking DMs. It pisses me off. And I get it. I get that it's not real and that none of it is serious to me. But there's some part of my brain every time I see that I'm like, shut the fuck up. I am fully capable of paying for all of my own things. Thank you very much. I am 27 years old. I'm a grown fucking woman. I do not need a sugar daddy to send me $400. Okay, I'm good. Do you want me to send you $400? Do you need money? Oh, God. Me and the bots are beefing. All right, let's dive into these audience submissions since you guys have been busy spilling your guts and sharing your secrets in that submission box, which, as always, is open. So feel free to submit at the link in the description of this podcast for the next episode. Hi, Maddie. I've been really needing some advice and don't really know who to talk to, so I thought, why not submit it? So you yourself have talked about how this has affected you and your body image, and it's affecting me now too. I feel like recently the internet has taken wellness culture to the extreme, and it's starting to just feel like diet culture is making its rounds again. It is. As a teenage girl who has struggled with an ED from a young age, I do consider myself recovered. However, I am still sensitive to body image things. It's becoming increasingly difficult to be the happiest version of myself when I feel bombarded with all of this diet culture that has just been repackaged as wellness. I hope it doesn't sound silly. It's just hard not to let these kinds of things get to me. I also just wanted to share, as I think it definitely helps to know other people might be feeling similar, and hopefully this all makes sense. Your content really resonates with me, and on behalf of all the sensitive lover girls, thank you for creating such a lovely, safe space. Thank you for submitting and for all of your kind words. I want to kick this off by saying you're absolutely not alone. I have felt the same exact way for a lot of this year. It's been a hard shift that's happening, and it is frustrating when you and I and lots of other people can see that this is the same toxic diet culture that we had in the early 2000s, but this time it's being repackaged as like this wellness, good for you, more mindful thing that's happening, which is far from the truth. I think something that helps me is looking to people that I respect the opinion of and hearing what they say about it and letting their thoughts like really like permeate my skull and sink deep in there, because I do really respect their opinions. And so it just means more coming from people like that. Like, I think there are people within the like plus size community online, fat liberation space online, that I think are just like some of the most brilliant, smartest people ever. And hearing what they have had to say about it makes me feel like a sigh of relief and like, oh, thank God. Thank God this person who I've thought was so smart and had so many like really meaningful takes about diet culture and fatness and, health fads over the years. This person that I have looked to for years that has good takes on things like this is continuing to have good takes as we're going into this like regression shift to the early 2000s and 90s in terms of body image. It's been helpful for me to at least look at people that I really trust the opinion of to be like, oh, thank God this person has their head screwed on. My feeds have been like tragic. And I feel like all of the blocking, the do not show me this, not interested, all of the learning that I try to do with my algorithm to teach it that I do not want to see content like this, it doesn't care. For example, I would love to be able to consume recipe content without having calorie counting shoved in my face the whole way through the video. That's not good for me in my brain as someone with a history of an eating disorder. I don't need calorie counting anywhere near me. I would love a healthy recipe though. I would love to know how to make this delicious, colorful meal. Why the fuck do you need to calorie count the whole way through? And it's like everywhere. It's like absolutely fucking everywhere. It's not just like, oh, here's a healthy choice you can make. It's like, here's a healthy choice you can make, and here are all the calories in a fucking carrot. And it's like, it's a carrot. I'm not calorie counting a fucking carrot. That's crazy. And that's just one example, a more tame example, might I add. But it's just everywhere, and it's exhausting. And it is, I think what's been particularly upsetting for me is seeing people that used to make content that I really loved that did feel very helpful for me in my journey, whether it was like, oh, they made body image content that I really liked, and I thought that they had like really good takes on maintaining a good mental relationship with yourself while also, you know, working to heal your relationship with food and movement and whatever. People that I used to watch their content and be like, wow, I really like this. This is refreshing. Seeing some of those people switch up and start making content that feels not so good anymore, that has sucked. And listen, I will unfollow, I will unsubscribe, I will do what I need to do to take care of myself and not consume the content that I don't need to consume. But it is upsetting to see people who built their entire platforms off of being a resource to people who had struggled with their body image, who had struggled with EDs, now become the very opposite of what they promised they were when people signed on to consume their content in the first place. That is frustrating to me. It is. It honestly wouldn't piss me off as much if they had just been toxic from the start. It makes me upset to see someone build an audience, selling themselves as one thing, selling themselves as being a safe space for this specific demographic, and then they basically turn around and say, and actually, fuck you. And actually, this content is now horrible for people like you. And that sucks, and that's tough. And at the same time that I'm feeling frustrated with people like that, I feel a lot of empathy for them because I understand how hard it is. And I'm feeling all this pressure, and I completely understand why people switch up and why people all of a sudden start making content that is much more rooted in diet culture and toxic body talk. I see how it happens. It's just disappointing is what it is. And it's overwhelming. And just know that I see it too, and I feel it too, and you're not crazy. And all we can do, or what I've been telling myself, is to just keep reminding yourself that, like, you're not insane for thinking this is insane. You are not insane for noticing this shift and noticing that it is being branded as something that is rooted in wellness and mindfulness, and noticing that that's kind of false advertising and that it's just the same old 90s, early 2000s toxic body image culture coming back at us with brand new marketing. You're not crazy. I see it too. A lot of other people see it too. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. It's just, I think we're in our perseverance era. We're pushing through, acknowledging that it is happening, and I don't know what else to do yet. I've just been trying to block everything off my timeline. Doesn't really work that well because I still see so many videos and posts that I do not want to see, but I'm doing my best to just mind my own fucking business and protect my peace in that regard. And just, if content doesn't resonate with me, if someone switches up, damn, that sucks, disappointing, unfollowed. Like, I can't be around it. I can't witness it. So let's not torture ourselves and just remove ourselves from content and people and conversations that hurt instead of help are healing. Hi, Maddie. Not sure if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think I remember you saying that you have big areolas. I do, and I'm so insecure about them. I'm in a committed relationship, and my partner says that my areolas and boobs in general are perfect the way that they are, but still I'm so insecure about them and don't like wearing certain types of tops or bralettes that have super deep necklines because my boobs don't stay in place and they partly come out of the bras, and it would not bother me if my areolas did not show up too. Any advice on how you feel sexy and comfortable with big boobs and big areolas? It's funny how different people have very different experiences in their bodies, because I've never really considered how I feel sexy and comfortable with big boobs and big areolas, because I've just always felt sexy and comfortable with big boobs and big areolas. Maybe the sexy part is understandable and the comfortable part is more like where the question mark is, because I mean, I've always loved having big boobs. The big areolas did have to grow on me. I definitely, when I was younger and I realized that not everyone had big areolas, there was definitely a minute or two, a few years, not a minute or two, where I was like should I feel weird about this? Like, they are definitely bigger than a lot of the areolas I see in porn are. But then I think over time they just grew on me, and I was like, what business do I have having itty bitty nipples and areolas? Like, on these knockers, it just wouldn't make sense. Surface area wise, I've got like more space to have big areolas. Also, I just feel like my boobs are very pretty. So I've never, I guess I like noticed that they're different, and I wondered if I should have a problem with them being different. But then I quickly was just like, but actually they're so nice to look at, and I love it. I don't know if also this is partially like from being attracted to women as well, where I think like maybe, I don't know, this is an interesting thought. I've never thought about this before. I have to think about it more. But I wonder if part of like acknowledging and accepting my attraction to women helped with my own perception of my own body. In like acknowledging my attraction to other women, I was able to see myself as being more beautiful. There's probably some truth there, because I feel like I love how every set of boobs looks. I've never looked at a set of boobs and thought, not fantastic. I look at a boob and I'm like, that's great. You know, like I've never once in my life been like, oh, those boobs are just not good. Like, no, they're all great. Every set of boobs is fantastic. Like, there's sincerely every which way type of boob, every genre, every shape, every size, every areola. Like, it's a boob, mama. Like, we're also lucky to be in the presence of them. Let's not get it twisted. And maybe I'm just like a boob appreciator because I'm the owner of a fantastic pair. Like, maybe I just feel like I was exposed to an appreciation of boobs from a young age because I was like, damn, I got lucky. I've got a nice rack. Like, maybe there's some mixture combination of all of those things going on. The comfortable part, I totally understand. This is why I stopped wearing bras, because number one, they're so fucking uncomfortable. And number two, they're like just not properly made for people past a certain size. I could never find a bra that really truly fits me in a way that I don't constantly notice it or I'm constantly irritated by it. I totally understand the like pushing you out sort of thing. Totally understand the like constant fear of having a nipple or an areola pop. There are so many things that I don't wear because I know that it's like, well, my areola will be out. It's hard for it to not be out, to be honest with you. The deep V's are hard because like, yeah, my areola does go like to the inner side. So even like the deep V, I don't know, boob tape helps kind of make that impossible. If you just tape over the areola and attach it to the clothes, makes it a little easier. But I get the fear, and it's stressful and uncomfortable. This is why I stopped wearing bras. And yeah, I feel like I show off my boobs a lot, but I rarely put myself in uncomfortable clothing anymore. When I was in college, I used to a lot like wear these like going out tops and like uncomfortable outfits. Now I just won't wear it. If there's an item of clothing that makes me feel self-conscious, if I'm worried about a nipple popping, if I'm gonna have to be adjusting myself the whole night, if I'm gonna think about it the whole night, I just won't wear it. And I've accepted that I won't wear it, and it's not like anything besides a comfort thing for me. I care about comfort above all fucking else. I want to feel comfortable in my clothes, and I want to feel sexy. So I prefer and enjoy things that allow me to do that. That's why I like scoop necks rather than V-necks, because my nipples are at the bottom of my boob, point downwards. So in a scoop neck, we can show off the cleavage and feel good and feel fun and sexy without me being like adjusting myself the whole fucking night. So anyways, to make a long story short, I think partially I just have been very lucky to have a good relationship with my boobs for my whole life. And I think that any passing insecurity I had about my areolas was squashed because I think they're pretty. And also, I think that I am very aware that like any pressure that I may feel to have these like perky little tiny hard boob nipple, like this idea of like the perfect boob that's like not too big because you don't want it to sag, but it's not flat and the nipple is hard and it points up and not down. Like all of that bullshit is like, that's misogyny in the male gaze speaking. And it's not necessarily anything that I want to internalize or take to heart. I think having big boobs maybe made me more able to roll my eyes at that type of shit at a younger age, because I was like, you think you know what you want, but you actually don't fucking know what you want, because you say you want big boobs, but then the second you have a boob where the nipple faces downwards, or there's a big areola, or there's any type of sagging, suddenly you're like, oh, but not like that. And it's like, well, that's what a big boob does. That's what a big boob looks like. So if you don't like it, what you're saying is that you actually like fake boobs. And I'm just not interested in catering my body or my own self-perception to like these made up build-a-bitch type ideals that men have come up with for what's hot and what's not. You can go fuck yourself. You can go actually fuck yourself. So I really don't give a shit if some dude out there said that having saggy boobs was not hot, or that having big areolas was not hot, because I think it's hot. And to be totally honest with you, I just think that women that are attracted to women have the final say on this one. So just listen to the lesbians and bisexual women on this one, okay? We don't need the male opinion on what makes a boob a great boob, because I know and you know that all boobs are great boobs. And I think the comfortable part comes in time, in figuring out what actually makes you feel the most comfortable with your boobs, with existing with your set of boobs and how they feel on your back, on your chest, on your body. For me, that's not wearing a bra. And I know it seems counterintuitive to people, but my chest hurt more when I wore a bra. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I stopped wearing a bra, and over time, the muscles in my chest strengthened, and now I feel no pain whatsoever with my chest. Sometimes my back does hurt, and sometimes I just want to be like snatched up and I need that support. Sometimes I do feel that way, and when I do, I'll throw on like a little bralette and walk around with just the bralette on. But like right now, I have no bra on underneath this. Why the fuck would I? I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I don't know. I just, I think bras are kind of stupid and pointless, and to me, I feel more comfortable, physically more comfortable and emotionally more comfortable without it. And that's been something that I've learned through trial and error. And I think the way I dress and the way I show off my cleavage and like feel sexy showing off my body looks different now than it did when I was younger and I was catering to like, I don't know, the idea of what was sexy or like what I should show off. And now it's just, yeah, I want to feel comfortable. I don't want to be adjusting my clothes and pulling things up and worried if I'm popping a nipple all night. That's not comfortable to me. So I just don't dress like that anymore. So experiment with what feels comfortable for you, and don't feel bad about what feels comfortable for you. And any thought you have inside your brain about why your boobs are not good enough or pretty enough, or why there's something wrong with your areolas or whatever else, any negative thought you have about your boobs, just understand that that thought was planted there from years of existing in a misogynistic world that's very centered to the male gaze. And it's not something rooted in reality or something you should really take to heart. And sometimes you just got to keep reminding yourself of that until one day it really fucking sticks. Hello, Maddie. I just listened to your episode with Robbie and loved it. You and Robbie discussed a submission where a girlfriend found a folder with exes' nudes on her boyfriend's computer. Yikes. It got me thinking if I ever found something suspicious that my husband has. And when we were moving countries, I found out it got me thinking if I had ever found something suspicious that my husband has. And when we were moving countries, I found out that he has a box of love letters of his past girlfriends. And at first, he was very protective of this box and said that it's personal and that he did not want me to look at it. But I was too curious and looked for this box without his permission. And it was this sentimental box, or even a folder, maybe not a box, of love letters, pictures, postcards from friends, Also, he even saved Valentine's cards from me. He had 2 long-term girlfriends before me when he was 16 and then when he was in his 20s. So his girlfriends writing the love letters were very young at the time. And these love letters were absolutely facilitating very long, passionate writings about feelings and loving until death. I was a little sad that I never wrote him love letters or felt the urge to do that. The Valentines that he had saved was a drawing and saying I love you or something like that. We were 24, 25 when we started dating, and I feel like our relationship is on a calmer side and working well, to be honest. Anyways, I confessed to my husband about reading his love letters, and he was a little mad that I looked at his private things. Apparently, he hadn't looked at the contents of this box in a while, so I was excited to tell him what I had found. It was so fascinating that I can't even regret that I did that. Sorry. So any thoughts on that? Is it okay to keep love letters or cute postcards from your exes? I think it's completely okay. I'm a very sentimental person, so I keep a lot of things, and I think I'm pretty sure I've showed in a video recently, I have a movie stub from like one of the first dates I went on with the first guy I ever had sex with. I still have the movie stub of the midnight movie showing we went to go see The Breakfast Club together in like 2016. I still have that. And I have a lot of other things like that too. I don't know, like photo booth strips, tickets, playbills, letters. I keep all of those things. I am a very sentimental person, and I don't keep things like that because they mean something to me. I keep things like that because it's like, it's a memory. It's a progression of the past. It's like a marking of, an era of my life, something that is just sweet to look back on to me. Like the guy I saw the movie with, he's like my biggest demon. I've said this before. He is who I describe as the biggest demon I ever went out with. I don't save this movie ticket because he means anything to me, because I would ever want to be with him in a million years. That is not why I saved that movie ticket. I saved that movie ticket because number one, it's from the day I had sex for the first time. And number two, this was one of like the first dates that I went on in my life. And this date was with the first person that I ever had, like, I don't know, a more involved thing with. It's just like a marker of my own personal history. And I've grown a lot since then. And these are moments in my life that have changed me. And I think it would frustrate me if I was dating someone and they were mad that I kept that or took it personally in some way. Because it's not about the person that I went to the movie with or what the memory it is that I'm holding. Like, it's a part of my life. It's a part of my history. I'm just sentimental and nostalgic, and I don't long for the people I have those memories with, but I just hold a special place in my heart for like the more young, innocent version of myself that was so like bright-eyed and, going to a midnight showing of The Breakfast Club with a guy she had the biggest crush on. It's sweet to me. Even knowing that it ends bad, that story doesn't end well, that I think he's a demon and that I want nothing to do with him, that doesn't sour like the sweetness of the initial moment to me. It's just like a part of my history as a person. And I'd be frustrated if a partner was pissed that I kept that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with saving letters, postcards, photo strips. I think it's like, that's a part of your life that you lived. I guess I don't think there's a problem in like remembering exes. I think it's the same way where like some people, when they go through a breakup, they want to delete every photo on Instagram of them with their ex, or like if their new partner would ask them to do that. That would irritate me too, to be honest, because again, it just feels like, well, this is a part of my life. This is like my lived experience. I'm not like ripping up these photographs just because you want me to. And it's not because I care about the people that came before you, want to be with them. It's just because that's my life that we're talking about here. These are memories. I'm not destroying memories, history of myself, things that have made me me. Things that have, made me into the person that's standing right in front of you, that's dating you right now. I'm not erasing these things from my memory. Just because you want to pretend like you're the only person that's ever had me. To me, it starts to feel like a possessive thing, and I just don't like it. I guess I just like, I don't know, memories, sentimentality, nostalgia, all these things, they mean something to me. I'm a Pisces. So I don't like when people get mad about things like that. like, I think personally, this is disconnected to what you said, but I think that if I was with someone publicly and was posting with them a lot and then we broke up, I think I'd probably leave the posts live. I wouldn't delete all of them. I don't think so, at least. I mean, I don't see why I would need to. The only time in the past that I've ever taken down photos with someone has been because people on the internet were pestering me for information. I was like so fucking sad and needed people to start reminding me of them. It was long time ago. But that's the only hard part about like friend breakups in general to me, is like the third party participation of like, where is this person? And it's like, well, if you knew me, you would know why this person wasn't around anymore. Thanks for the reminder though, you motherfucker. I'm like, if I wasn't a public figure in that way, I don't think I'd have any reason to take content down though. Like, that's been genuinely the only reason why I've ever taken like photos with people down off Instagram before, because people have been like, where are they? And I'm like, stop reminding me. Shut up. But I can't imagine myself like deleting content for any other reason post breakup, unless like the mere thought of them put me into like a fucking coma. I guess I've never dated anyone that bad. You know, like my biggest demon. I mean, he was a demon. He was a real fucking demon. Let's not make any mistakes. But I don't think of him and feel pain, you know, well into my past. It's just like a fun little part of my history. The first time Maddie had like a big crush. The first time I ever felt like really emotionally attached to someone, I guess, changed me as a person. He's a part of my Mount Crushmore. Of course, I have like sentimental things from when he and I went out, just because it's like those are memories in my life where I changed as a person. It has little to do with them and more to do with me and like the expansiveness of my heart and just documenting that throughout my life. And yeah, I'm just a sentimental person. You either get it or you don't, but it's not. I would be upset if somebody was like deeping that to mean something. It's really not about them. It's about me. I'm just like that. Don't take it personally. The sun is going down and I am getting hungry. I'm going to go cook myself some dinner, maybe watch a movie, and edit this podcast together. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you write lots of love letters, give your pets lots of smooches, and give your bestie a call on the phone. All right? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll see you guys when I'm at the fucking DNC. Holy jeez. Yeah. See you guys in Chicago. What the hell? Love you so much. See you next week.